From dust to deluge, the Southwest swings from drought to dangerous flooding as remnants of Hurricane Priscilla drench the desert. Meanwhile, Utah passes a landmark Great Salt Lake bill. California expands groundwater monitoring with help from space, and tribes consider giving the Colorado River legal personhood. Welcome to Western Water Weekly, where we break down what's really happening with water across the West, fast, clear, and grounded in facts that matter.
A new U.S. Geological Survey report brings rare good news. Pesticide contamination in groundwater has dropped sharply over the last 30 years. Researchers analyzed 59 well networks in 25 major aquifers nationwide and found that the number of wells with moderate pesticide concentrations fell from 7% in the 1990s to just 2% in the past decade. Atrazine still tops the list of detected pesticides, but its levels are falling, thanks to better management and changes in use. The only chemical still exceeding federal safety limits is an old one, DBCP, a soil fumigant banned since 1977. Traces linger in parts of California's Central Valley, though detections are down from half of all samples to just 15% today. Groundwater provides drinking water for about 13% of Americans, and since most private wells are never tested, the USGS says long-term monitoring is crucial for public health protection. Utah was hit by one of its wettest days on record when Salt Lake City got hammered with over 2.5 inches of rain, just shy of a 124-year-old record. Neighborhoods flooded, storm drains overflowed, and public works crews scrambled to keep up as the state's aging infrastructure strained under the weight of the storm. Then, just 2 days later, the Utah legislature unanimously passed House Bill 1001, the Great Salt Lake Amendments, updating the state's management of the lake and surrounding wetlands. The law authorizes adaptive berm management to maintain salinity balance between Gilbert and Gunnison Bays, requires environmental planning before any changes, and reaffirms that existing water rights remain untouched. Scientists say the timing of the storm and the legislation perfectly captures Utah's new reality, dealing with both flood and drought extremes in the same week. A team at the University of Nebraska released a new national map of water rights systems, showing how differently each state manages its most essential resource. Western states generally follow the first-in-time, first-in-right principle, while Eastern states use common law systems tied to land ownership. The project, led by the Daugherty Water for Food Global Institute and the National Drought Mitigation Center, is the first of its kind to visualize both surface and groundwater laws nationwide. Researchers say this new tool will help policymakers and landowners better understand water law. California is taking innovation to the next level with Project Nexus, a $20 million pilot in the Turlock Irrigation District that installs solar panels directly over irrigation canals. The panels generate 1.6 megawatts of renewable electricity while shading the water below, reducing evaporation and even helping prevent algae growth. Researchers from UC Merced say this water energy nexus could revolutionize resource management. If scaled statewide, covering California's 4,000 miles of public canals could save 63 billion gallons of water a year and generate 13 gigawatts of clean power, enough for millions of homes. Other projects are underway in Arizona and Oregon, signaling a growing national trend to merge solar power with water conservation. The Colorado River Indian tribes are considering a resolution to legally recognize the river flowing through their reservation as a living entity, with rights similar to a person. Tribal chairwoman Amelia Flores says the move would help reframe how agencies treat the river, focusing not just on human users, but on the river's health itself. If adopted, the measure would join a growing global movement. New Zealand's Wanganui River, Canada's Magpie River, and the Yurok tribe's Klamath River have all been granted legal personhood in recent years. However, several U.S. states have gone the opposite direction. Ohio, Florida, Idaho, and Utah all passed laws explicitly banning personhood for ecosystems. For the Colorado River Indian tribes, this proposal represents a shift from being excluded from the 1928 Compact to asserting stewardship in modern water governance. California's fight against groundwater depletion just got a major boost from space. The NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar satellite, launched in July, can measure ground movement with precision down to fractions of an inch. That means California's Department of Water Resources can now monitor land subsidence, the gradual sinking of ground caused by overpumping groundwater, with unprecedented accuracy. This new data will help pinpoint where canals, levees, and infrastructure are at risk, guiding early intervention. The maps will be made public through the state's open data portal once processing is complete. It's part of a broader effort that includes airborne surveys, groundwater wells, and advanced computer models, all aimed at giving local agencies the insight they need to manage water sustainably in a changing climate. The October 9th U.S. Drought Monitor brought a mix of news. Drought deepened in parts of New England and the Midwest, but eased in some western states. However, the big story this week is what's unfolding in the Southwest, where the region flipped from drought to deluge almost overnight. Moisture from Hurricane Priscilla, combined with remnants of another tropical system, surged northward into the Colorado River Basin, dumping 2 to 4 inches of rain and triggering flash floods from Phoenix to Cedar City. In some canyons, hourly rainfall topped 2 inches, overwhelming drainage systems and closing roadways. The rain has provided short-term relief, improving soil moisture in Arizona, Utah, and western Colorado. But experts say most of it runs off too fast to recharge groundwater. Still, after months of relentless dryness, many are grateful for even temporary relief. And despite the ongoing federal government shutdown, the Drought Monitor and National Weather Service teams confirmed that mapping and updates will continue without interruption, ensuring that critical water data keeps flowing even when Washington doesn't. And that's a wrap on this week's water news from the Colorado River Basin and beyond. For details about these stories, or for fresh news delivered every day except Sunday, visit western-water.com. Thanks for watching, and see you next week on Western Water Weekly.